Hello everybody, my name is Mark and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, we haven't had a lot of content here lately, but I would like to introduce the new league of our Pokemon Draft League that I created, actually the YPA, the YouTubers Pokemon Association. We have 3 divisions going on and I'm really excited to get this thing started. So just like the CNL, which I uploaded weekly, this is going to also be a weekly upload for the entire season essentially. And just like the CNL, before we started off the season, I did do a draft recap, so that's what I will be doing right now. So in this draft, we had 110 points to draft up to 10 Mons, up to 10 to 12 Mons, ranging anywhere from 20 points to 1 point. I believe I had the 8th overall pick, which means I was kind of right in the middle. It was a serpentine draft, so I got the 8th pick. It went down to the 12th, and then it went back up to the 8th, so I had to wait 16, so I guess not really in the middle, kind of like a quarter of the way to the first, but we had a really good spot to draft what we needed, I think. So something a little bit different about this league is this is actually an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Gen 7 league that we're running on Citra. I know Citra has that legal battle. We were able to get a copy and we were able to port forward to have our own private servers for the battles, which I'm really excited for. And of course, if anyone is interested in Season 2, check out the Discord. I'll have it posted down below so you could experience this for yourself as well later on. So without further ado, let's get into this draft recap. So with the first overall pick, I lied to you, with the first round, 8th overall pick, we have selected Celesteela, the flying steel type Pokemon, one of the Ultra Beasts if you want to consider that a Pokemon. We got this for 19 points, I believe, so just a little bit below that 20 mark, but there was nothing in that 20 mark that was available for me that I wanted to grab. As you can see the stats, I made this little layout like a presentation. Hopefully you like it. Is it lagging? No, I don't believe so. Let me stop talking. Essentially base 100 stats all across the board besides speed, but we're not really worrying about that unless we do some like autotomized weakness policy strats, which as you can see up in the items, that might be a strategy later on. But of course, the only ability it does get is Beast Boost, which is all it needs essentially. Items that I think I'm going to be running throughout the season, which may change. This isn't set in stone, of course. Leftovers and weakness policy. And then, of course, the popular moves, Heavy Slam, Knockoff, Acrobatics, Earthquake, and then specially Fire Blast, Energy Ball, Giga Drain, and then, of course, it gets Elite Seed and Autotomize, like I mentioned below. It's like a better Skarmory, in my opinion. I know it doesn't get super cool, like, Roost abilities, but Leech Seed does help out a lot, unless it's a Fire type, but we do have Fire Blast for those Fire types. Grass types, I should say. So I'm really excited to use Celesteela here. So I believe Celesteela's only weaknesses are electric and fire, so I decided just to get one immunity from those with a counter mon as quickly as possible, and coming down 16 picks, I wanted to grab up this mon as soon as I can. I know it might have been an overreach, depending on who you ask, but we all know him, we all love him. We grabbed Gliscor, the ground flying type, so 2 flying type on our team. Only one's weak to ice, the other is neutral, so this one does immune to electricity, and I think it resists fire, or it's neutral. Either way, an insane defensive stat, really good speed and attack as well. Abilities that I'm going to be running is probably only Poison Hill, hand in hand with Toxic Orb, unless we could get like a cold weakness policy or leftovers and then go in from a Toxic. That'd be pretty cool. But of course, Earthquake, Knockoff, Ice Fang, Facade, U-Turn, Stealth Rock, Defog, Swords Dance, and Roost. The standard set, we Toxic something. I don't have Toxic on there, but everything is Toxic in Gen 7. And then we just start Roosting to delay the battle. Some stally strats, but we all know Gliscor, and it's going to do what we need it to do. Also a second ground immunity for our team. Coming up next, to get that fire resistance, I decided to draft a fire type of my own. I wanted to get Rotom Wash really badly, but my buddy Torterra grabbed it before me, right before me actually. I believe he did, because it looped around. He had the 4th pick, so he had the 8th pick when it looped back to him from me, if that makes sense. It made sense to me. But we grabbed the second best Rotom, which is, of course, Rotom Heat. Look at him go. Pretty abysmal HP stat, but the defenses more than make up for it. And if I want to run Specs or Scarf with a special attacker, that'd work as well. And the speed is different, hitting at 86 when the 80 speed tier, which would be fine. Leftovers, of course, which means another ground immunity unless someone has Sheer Force. And I think the only Sheer Force mon that got drafted, Terravolt as well, the Karen Black, but I believe Excadrill got drafted as well. So items, Flame Orb to do some nasty tricks, leftovers, and of course the choice specs and choice scarf items. famous moves: Volt Switch, Overheat, of course, Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp, Trick, Pain Split, Defog. And also, I forgot to add that this is a Z move user of ours, and I chose, I believe, Fire, Electric, and Ghost. We do have Z captains. We get up to 5, maximum of 30 points, and then a minimum of 15-point users. So you can get 2 15-pointers, 5 5-pointers, so on and so on. But that's just who I drafted for one of our Z captains. Up next, I wanted some really good defensive walls, and I also wanted a Baton Wish Passer. And Alola Mola doesn't get Flip Turn this gen, nor does it get Baton Pass, which is really unfortunate. So I decided to grab a Evolution, because they all get Baton Pass and they all get Wish. And I decided to grab the most bulky one, which is of course Umbreon. 95 speed, sorry. 65 attack, but also 110 defense, 130 special defense, and then special attack and speed are both 60 and 65. Synchronize and Inner Focus are really good abilities. Either or could be working fine for us, depending on who they have. If they have a Lopunny and I want to, what's that move? Foul play them. They can't fake me out for that. And of course, holding the leftovers or anything else that we could throw on this bad boy, essentially. Body Slam, Shadow Ball. Sword Power, gonna set up some crazy things, but of course Baton, Bass, Wish, Heal Bell, and then Toxic, just a Cleric Mon that could absorb a lot of hits. Now our first 4 picks, all of them can be defensive pivot Mons, with some offensive potential, minus Umbreon of course. But I really wanted that hard-hitting wall breaker, and I was able to get that, I believe, with Hoopa Unbound. Sorry the sprite is kind of bad, they didn't really have a good HD sprite for him. He's just doing his best thing over there in that 3DS form. You know, Hoopa Unbound looks like we're done. I'll put up the side-by-side right now. You guys tell me what you think. But Hoopa Unbound with that insane... Oh, no! This is incorrect. Wait, no, it won't. Never mind. The stats I'm looking at are wrong, but what you're looking at is fine. So I believe it's 160 attack, 170 special attack, which is absolutely insane. That with the 80 speed, if I want to run Scarfed, Band, or Specs, it could be a mix-up of any, depending on the speed tiers of my... my opposing opponent. Magician, of course, that's the only ability it gets. But this thing hits hard on defensive and specially defensive Mons. Hyperspace Fury, Gunshot, Drain Punch, Knockoff, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Energy Ball, Signal Beam, and Dark Pulse. This is basically going to be a sweeper or a wall breaker, depending on what we need at that time. So I'm really excited to use Hoopa Unbound. It's one of the coolest looking Pokemons in my opinion. I never got to use it competitively until now, so I'm really excited. Up next, I wanted another wall breaker. This is going to be our Mega, so we all got 1 Mega for the draft, and I got Mega Sharpedo. Speed boost I can protect or substitute, don't tell anybody, turn 1 to get our speed boost up, and then Mega the next turn with Strong Jaw and 140 base attack. 110 special attack is nothing to play with either if I want to do some crazy little shenanigans against people. Sharpedo Knight, of course, that's what he's going to be holding. That's what he has to hold due to him being our Mega Evolution. But of course, it gets Crunch, Waterfall, Psychic Things, Ice Fang, Earth, Quake, Aqua Jet if needed, Poison Jab, and then Ice Beam to want to hit on the special side if we need to. But Mega Sharpedo is there to get hits and hopefully get some crits as well. 3 Dark-type draft picks in a row, I should say. But I'm really excited to use Mega Sharpedo. If it doesn't work out, Mega Altaria is right there, which I consider drafting, but we'll see how it goes with Mega Sharpedo. So looking at everyone's draft picks, I saw a lot of people were drafting steels. Shout out to Carlos, he drafted 3 steel types. So I decided I want to get not a stopper, but a counter to all these steel types, and that of course is Magneton. I wanted to get Magnezone. Well, I was considering Magnezone, but my buddy Torterra, like I said, he wants to copy me with the Rotoms. He also wanted to copy me with the Mags. He grabbed Magnezone. But Magneton has 10 less special attack, but it makes up for it for being able to Eviolite, and it's actually faster. So Magnet Pull and Sturdy depend on what I want to do. Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, Eviolite, and then the Focus Sash if we want to have Sturdy and Magnet Pull. Basically 2 abilities, which is pretty interesting. And then a standard set of Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Flash Cannon, and then HP Fire / Ground, depending on if I'm like against a Heatran or a Ferrothorn / Skarmory. I mean, not Skarmory, Scizor. It could be literally anything, but this is just a very pivotal mon for each situation. If I'm scared of a steel type, I could bring this to with our 7th overall pick, I believe. Spoiler, we're getting another steel type, and I actually didn't draft a steel type here. Actually, I dropped the 3 last mons that I did draft, in order to support my foundation that I had above me. So I want to build up that foundation and get a little bit stronger. So I initially drafted Latios for a fast dragon, but it added another psychic type, and I didn't want the bug weaknesses that were stacking up with Umbreon, Hoopa Unbound, Sharpedo. So I decided to grab another steel type that's gonna help us set up those stealth rock spikes, rapid spin things away even, to get some chip damage off so Hoopa and Mega Sharpedo could start punching holes in the team. And with that being said, I drafted Fortress. Another sturdy mon, another hugely defensive mon. This plus Umbreon, or this plus Celesteela, this plus Rotom Heat, it's going to be an insane defensive core, and I'm looking forward to pissing people off with it. But of course, we're going to have to watch out for the fire type moves with this guy, but of course it gets leftovers. It doesn't get leftovers as an item mark, but Gyro Ball for stab hitting, hard hitting attack, Earthquake, Giga Drain, Volt Switch, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock Spikes, Pocket Spikes, and Toxic. Like I said, this is going to be our hazard remover and hazard setter, as well as having some switch initiative. Since it's so slow, maybe I could take a hit, Volt Switch out, and go into something a little bit harder hitting, or we could just explode in their face, sexually and metaphorically, and Pokemon-nolically. So yeah, with our second to last pick, we did draft Gengar, but unfortunately, Gengar only base 110 speed, same as Latios. I wanted something a little bit faster. In fact, a lot faster, and we didn't have a dragon type yet, but unfortunately this is another quad weakness because it is a dragon flying type, which is going to go hand in hand with our quad weak Gliscor. We grabbed Noivern, the dragon flying type Pokemon, insane 123 speed with Frisk, Infiltrator, and I don't know why I added Telepathy there, but we're not going to be using that. We're not doing doubles. Of course we could run it Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, Life Orb, but this is also another Z Captain holding the Dragonium Z, the Flying Z, and the Normalium Z. Moves Draco Meteor, Hurricane, Boom Burst, Dark Pulse, Fire Blast, Focus Blast, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. It also gets U-turn for more switch initiative, so that's going to be really fun if I have a, Gliscor, Rotom, Fortress, and Noivern just Volt switching and U-turning on all over the place. So that's what I'm looking forward for Noivern. A Z-moved Draco Meteor, Hurricane, or Boom Burst is going to do insane damage if they don't resist or are immune to it, and I'm fast enough to hopefully hit first. So that's the plan here. And with the last overall pick, in the initial draft, I had Gumshoes, okay? Because I wanted to make Pokemon great again. I'm a supporter of making things great. Okay, that's all I'm going to say, okay? You can hate on me all you want. It's an opinion. We could all have our opinions, okay? What happened? Let's bring it back, okay? I'm stopping. I'm not going to talk a little bit more about that. But with the drops that I had, I was able to grab another Pokemon, an 11-point Pokemon with base 120 speed and 135 special attack, which is absolutely insane. It does give me another bug type weakness, but I am fine with that because I got Master Shifu the Alakazam here. Base 135. I already told you the stats. Magic Guard, Synchronize, Magic Guard for the Life Orb shenanigans. Of course, Life Orb as well. Choice Scarfs, Choice Specs, and then we get Psychium Z, Fairyum Z, and Fightium Z on our Alakazam. Moves are Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Energy Ball, Focus Blast, and Hidden Power. I'm really excited. Here's the draft recap. I'll show you like the weaknesses, the speed tiers of my Pokemons, the moves that it gets. I'll show you our opponent right now. Bow. Easy editing, Mark, and we're going to be uploading every Friday, I believe. So you're going to see this on Monday. The week's going to go over battling, and then next week is going to be Friday, and that's when we're going to be uploading. So I hope you guys do enjoy. If you guys are interested in joining any future leagues, link in the description will be below. And other than that, I appreciate you all. And take care and have a wonderful day. Peace out. I'm out.